Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be talking about stress and how it impacts both of you in the relationship and in this journey, and how to manage it when you're in these stressful situations. So, we're going to talk about self care for men and stress management techniques you can try out, ways that you can support her mental health during these transitions, and also the teamwork and communication piece, bringing that in from a couple videos ago where we talk about this resilient emotional connection and practicing communication in an effective way. So let's go ahead and get started. Please follow me on my YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram for exclusive content. And what's nice about following me on these platforms is that you're going to get little bite-sized chunks to give you these little helpful reminders along the way to keep you in the place of thriving, moving towards that self-improvement. And I'd love for you to share this course. Help me lead the world's transition to a fertile future. Warning, this is the most important video in the whole course, so I'd love for you to stick with it, watch the entire video, don't skip it or fast forward. Think of this as the little seeds, just planting them in your mind, and eventually they will take root. You can always watch this on 1.5 speed. So let's talk about stress in parenthood and in your pregnancy, and I could even take this into like the part of preconception. If you're just starting to plan to have the baby, there's stress there because there's like a lot of excitement and emotions. And then in the postpartum time, which is actually still part of pregnancy. And the more we normalize this conversation that pregnancy doesn't end when the baby's born, it's that whole postpartum window as well. And all of these times of transition come with stress. Anytime we change, our life changes, we have pivots, the roles change, we have new dynamics, right, between your relationship, then it will bring in some sorts of stressors. So there are unique challenges of parenthood. Pregnancy and early parenthood introduce a wide ranges of new responsibilities and challenges, including financial pressures, changes in your social dynamics, adjustments to your daily routines, and potentially sleep disturbances. All of these factors can cause significant stress for both partners. There's physical and emotional stresses during pregnancy, as it involves a lot of changes in the body, hormone fluctuations, and potential discomforts from the pregnant partner, which can contribute to emotional strain. So think about this. If you're not feeling good in your body, or you have aches and pains, or reflect back on a time where you just didn't feel good, maybe you're nauseated, maybe you have a headache, you're likely to have less patience, less of that emotional stamina to withstand different discussions and conversations. So for your pregnant partner, this could be impacting. And for the non-pregnant partner, witnessing these changes can create feelings of helplessness or concern. I remember this with each of my pregnancies. My husband would say, "I lost you," or "I thought I lost you." And it was like, well, how is I supposed to respond when at any minute I'm like, my mouth's watering, I'm ready to throw up, or all of a sudden I'm having like intense side pains where I feel like I can't even breathe, right? So I was just doing the best of what I can with handling the physical challenges, and that did change how I responded or how open I was to having conversations at any point in time throughout the pregnancy and afterwards in that postpartum window. There's also anxiety about parental roles, and so both of you may feel uncertain or anxious about the roles as being parents, and also wondering if you're ever going to be good enough or if they're adequately prepared for the responsibilities of parenting. So until you've had a kid, then there's a lot of what ifs that might be just playing out in your head. You're not sure how to do things. You don't know if you have enough clothes, enough onesies. So there's this preparation phase. And you guys are basically doing the best that you can, or the best that you know how to do, without having all the information because you haven't been in the presence of this beautiful baby yet. And changing relationship dynamics. So the pregnancy is going to change the dynamics. There's going to be different needs. And also afterwards, when the baby is born, your dynamic is focused around everything that this child needs for a long time. And so it can lead to less time together, reduced time for intimacy, and new communication challenges. Adjusting to all of these changes can be difficult and lead to misunderstandings and if it's not openly addressed. I cannot tell you how often my husband and I will be standing within 10 feet of each other, and amongst the three little voices in the room, I can't hear if he's like, no, yesterday, or I said, what's that? And I'm like hearing something completely different. He's like, no, I asked if you wanted to do that. And I'm like, why? And the conversation just is not making sense. So communication is definitely broken down when you're tired, when you can't hear, when you're feeling stress, when you're like in your own thoughts of like trying to problem solve. You may just not be listening or hearing correctly. So this is one of the dynamics that definitely changes in the relationship. And then there's also balancing work and family. So many couples face this challenge of building and balancing their career with their expanding family needs. Finding the right balance, especially if one or if both partners are working, can add stress and impact your mental health. So let's talk about mutual support. How are you guys going to show up for each other? The conversations we can have before the baby's born to show up together every time, and then return to these techniques when you're feeling like there's not the unity between you. So you're building resilience together. When you start to approach your stressor as a team, and you are cooperating together, you both will feel secure knowing that you're not carrying the burdens alone. When partners act as emotional anchors for each other, they create the foundation of mutual strength and understanding. One way to think of this is that you guys have different resources. When you think of like your time, your attention, your sleep, your emotional energy, your physical energy, you have different resources available to you. So there may be times if mother was up with a baby multiple times through the night, she has less resources, maybe energetically, emotionally, and physically to give to you because her resources were used up while being up in the night with a baby. And then at that time, this other partner, you could come in and be supportive in this way and saying, I know your resources of energy is low right now. Let me pick up some extra stuff. Let me pick up the baby. Let me take care of dinner. Let me take care of the dishes so you can get some rest, or so you can lay down. And so that kind of collaboration and teamwork is essential and will help you guys actually build this resiliency together. Enhancing your emotional stability. So mutual support in a relationship increases emotional stability by reducing the feelings of isolation and promoting a sense of belonging. When each partner just feels understood and supported, they're better equipped to handle the stress associated with pregnancy and parenthood. So just making sure, sometimes all it takes is a listening ear to hear that person out, and that can help you process the stress much better. Fostering open communication. Remember the I statements, I feel, sharing about your fears, your anxieties, and hopes. And this helps foster trust and transparency to prevent misunderstandings and allow each person to feel heard and valued. And protecting the relationship quality. So by consistently providing emotional support, you protect the quality of the relationship amongst the pressures of new parenthood. Taking time to support each other fosters intimacy and helps to maintain the sense of partnership that can mitigate the strain of external stressors. So when you're really there sharing the role, sharing the energy, sharing the emotions, encouraging each other, it allows you to actually come together. And if that's lacking, then it would push you apart. Setting a positive example for the future. So as you face challenges in pregnancy and parenting, you set a strong example of teamwork and resilience. And this approach doesn't only help you as a couple, but it also serves a model for family resilience, benefiting the children who will witness the parents' healthy, supportive relationship. So let's talk about self-care for men for stress management techniques. So let's talk first about how our stress response affects your body. Processing stress differently. For men, often process stress in ways that can be unique to their socialization and biological responses. Many men suppress emotional responses or keep stress bottled up, oftentimes feeling compelled to be strong and avoid showing vulnerability. This can lead to emotional withdrawal or irritability and sometimes make it harder for the partner to recognize that they're under stress. There's an impact on your health. So holding your stress internally can have physical consequences such as higher blood pressure, weakened immune response, or tension-related issues like headaches and muscle pain. Prolonged stress may also lead to sleep disturbances, poor eating habits, and increased risks of heart conditions. And it also has an effect on the relationship. While stress isn't openly managed, it can impact the quality of the relationship, leading to misunderstandings and emotional distance. Stress can reduce patience and empathy, making it harder to engage in healthy communication and connection with a partner. Recognizing these tendencies and actively working to manage stress is crucial for the well-being of your relationship. So just think about this. Have you noticed when you're feeling stressed, if you can think about maybe like a project at school, something that you're maybe unattached to right now, can you think of a time where you were feeling stress or pressure from work to perform, or maybe it's with the emotional changes at this point in your life, and you found your tendency, looking back on the past, your tendency to be withdrawn or more irritable? Or did you notice that it impacted your communication, your ability to be patient and listen and forgiving and helpful? Look back on your past tendencies so you can bring some awareness to your tendency, and then you can move forward. First, we need to recognize your pattern, and then we can move forward. So, how to move forward when we're in these places of stress? We need to acknowledge that you're stressed. We need to acknowledge your past pattern. So once you know, yes, I get super snappy when I'm stressed out. I will get short with people. I personally will create space. So I kind of want to be left alone. That's kind of my normal. So I can be like, okay, wow, I'm feeling like I really want to isolate myself right now. What's going on? I am feeling stressed. And so bringing that awareness is the first step. And then here are some tools that we can start to take that can help release tension and stress in your body. Meditation, it's a powerful tool for managing stress. It can improve your focus, increase your emotional awareness, and promote a calmer mental state by helping the mind disengage from constant stressors. Over time, it can reduce symptoms of anxiety and promote greater emotional resilience. There's different types of meditations you can try out. Guided ones are when you're just listening to an instructor or an audio. There are all kinds of apps that support meditations at this time. You can search it on YouTube. You can go on an app like Headspace or Calm, and they have really simple, quick 5-minute, 10-minute meditations where you can just start to listen and follow along. There's mindfulness meditation. This involves being really present in the moment. So you're focusing on your senses, your breath. How do you feel your breath? Like notice how it moves through your nose. Feel the air warming from that cool air, moving down into your throat, feeling it down your esophagus, feeling the lungs expand, feeling the diaphragm drop down. Then bring your awareness to the birds, to the trees, to any of your sounds that you're hearing. Then bring it to your senses, your sense of smell. And while you're closing your eyes, focus on the visual here in your third eye. This mindfulness meditation, scanning through the body, just bringing yourself to the present moment, is a way to bring yourself back into that parasympathetic nervous system and allow yourself to calm down. Breathing exercises, simple breathing techniques like a belly breathing or box breathing, when you're just going to inhale for a count. Maybe it's a count of 4, hold for a count of 4, exhale for a count of 4, hold for a count of 4. And there are different breathing exercises on my YouTube channel. You can go ahead and check those out. You can follow along where I'll actually walk you through those, or just jump on one of these meditation apps and follow along with that. Another one I like to use is a 4-7-8 breathing. So an inhale for 4, hold for 7, exhale for 8. So try out different breathing exercises and then figure out which piece resonates with you. So every person that I work with, there might be a piece that really helps them feel deeply calm. Other people, it doesn't click the same way. So just try out different techniques. And when you're starting, aim small. So give yourself 5 minutes a day, 10 minutes a day then. Gradually increase. When I started doing these breathwork exercises, this was 5 or 6 years ago. And I was sitting for 2 minutes just doing a candlelight, drishti staring activity at a flame. 10 minutes. I think maybe I might have started at 2 minutes, but it was driving me crazy because I wasn't getting anything done. And I was so much in this place of doing that sitting and staring at a candle felt like such a stupid activity to me. And so eventually I learned to find the peace with practice of sitting and trying out different meditation practices. And now it's part of the thing that I do to take care of myself, to nurture myself. So give yourself time to just integrate and practice slowly. Mindfulness. So mindfulness encourages men to slow down, observe their thoughts without judgment, and focus on the present. The practice can significantly reduce anxiety by breaking the cycle of overthinking. And it allows men to approach challenges with a clear and calmer mindset. So at any point in the day, just take a pause and go back to the senses. Slow down, observe your thoughts. I'm having a lot of thoughts about money. I'm having a lot of thoughts about taking time off of work. I'm having a lot of thoughts about all the problems at the house that, my partner wants me to fix. Any of the things, and just start taking notice. There's no judgment, there's no fixing, there's no solving. And this mindfulness allows you to break that cycle of living in the future and bring you right now to this moment. So a mindfulness practice you might try is a body scan. And this is starting to just observe different areas of your body. So you can actually feel the blood flow down into your toes, feel the blood flow moving up your body, into your calves, into your thighs, into your hips. Feel the breath in your body. Feel the chest expand. Feel the shoulders relax. Feel your jaw relax. Feel the muscles in your face relax. And so just doing a body scan through each part for 3 to 10, 20 minutes, however long you want, going through each part of your body allows you to come back to this present moment. Mindful eating. This is literally slowing down with your food. So if you feel triggered, and you notice when you're stressed, you go to the cabinet, you find yourself in the cupboard, then first it takes admitting that. So remember when I asked you, what are your patterns? Maybe it's eating when you're stressed and you feel that you're like, oh my gosh, I'm gaining weight, or I'm really I eat and then I get so tired and I lay down and then I kind of want to just lay and watch TV. I kind of numb myself out. So if that's the case, you could actually break that cycle by doing a mindful eating technique. So this is clear from all of screens. This is just sitting down, looking at the food on your plate, allowing yourself to imagine eating the food before you even put a bite in your mouth, feeling the secretions, feeling your salivary glands start to produce saliva, which contains amylase, which helps you break down the food. And so just slowing down will actually bring more appreciation to the process, to the food that you're eating. And oftentimes, you will feel more satiated with mindful eating than if you were just to eat behind the screen or mindlessly. So slow down, chew your food, pay attention to how it smells, hear the crunch, feel the crunch, take the time, 30 chews of each food before we swallow. Being really mindful of the textures, the flavors, the smells, all of it. There's a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique. When you're feeling anxious, you're going to focus on 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, and 1 thing you can taste. So try a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 technique sometime and see if that helps just bring you back right now to this moment. And then incorporating these moments throughout your day, paying attention to the feel of the water while you're washing your hands, or focusing on your breath during breaks. You can literally do mindfulness while you're getting paid at work. It's just paying attention to every part of living in this moment. So if you're washing dishes, you're just feeling the water, you're feeling the temperature, you're feeling the soap, you're paying attention to how the cloth moves in the dish. This is mindfulness. It's just bringing you here, right here in this present moment. Physical exercise and outdoor activities. So due to men's high levels of testosterone, physical exercise is a great way to release stress. Exercise helps release endorphins, which improves your mood and reduces stress hormones. Physical activity serves as a constructive way to release this pent-up energy and tension, and it helps contribute to better sleep and overall mental clarity. So if you are at the point of struggling with sleep, I recommend you do exercise first thing in the morning. That's actually going to contribute, especially if it's weight training, to more or enhanced sleep. Other types of beneficial activities for exercise include your strength training and cardio. Both help build up physical resilience and mental discipline. And there's a whole host of reasons why you're going to want to continue to do exercise throughout your life so we don't have muscle wasting. Muscle is a big predictor of our overall health. So we want to do at least 3 days of weight training to maintain your current muscle mass. And cardiovascular activity is so important for your whole systems, including your heart, obviously. Outdoor activities like walking, hiking, cycling outdoors combines the exercise of physical activity and the calming effects of nature, which is shown to reduce cortisol levels and improve your mood. So just getting outside, being in the elements, getting your vitamin D, all of this helps with releasing stress. Team supports and group workouts, engaging in these group activities adds in a social element, providing camaraderie and support from peers, which is oftentimes beneficial for stress relief. So aim for 20 to 30 minutes most days of the week. Even a brisk walk or short workout can be effective. Consistency matters more than the intensity. So think about where in your day you can add in physical exercise. Maybe this is going to be part of your lunch break. You're going to go take 20 to 30 minutes to walk around or find something close by, go outside, run some stairs, or see if there's a group around that when you punch out or take a break for your work, that you can just get out and get out some energy. Or maybe you move up the time that you're waking up and just wake up and do 20 to 30 minutes of body weight exercises first thing in the morning before you get to your day. That would be the best case scenario. All right, social support and connection. So our friendships and social connections give you a place to see a different perspective. So it reduces the chances and the feelings of isolation, and it allows you to just see things from a different viewpoint. Every time my husband and I take these little breaks from each other, whether it's like 2 hours with another friend, we both come back seeing things so much clearer. So allow yourself that time to connect and hear and communicate with somebody who is supportive in your social network. Many men are socialized to avoid expressing their emotions, which can worsen stress. So share your thoughts and frustrations, or even casual conversations with trusted friends can improve your mood and your mental well-being. So to strengthen your connections, reach out to those friends who you know, like, and trust. Do this regularly. Schedule meetups, hangouts, or social activities. Joining activities like sports leagues, hobby groups, or clubs all can build your community. Journaling and reflection. The benefits of journaling helps you clarify what's actually causing the stress, and it's a private and safe outlet for you for expressing yourself. Journaling also aids in problem solving by identifying patterns to help set realistic goals. So if you're feeling like you love to fix problems and you're a goal-oriented human, then journaling can be super helpful for that. Having a place where you just can actually figure out what's going on in your subconscious mind. So you're going to be writing about you can feel these senses in your body. Maybe you're feeling like you want to isolate yourself. And it might be like, today I'm noticing I am isolating myself if I don't really feel like I'm stressed, but turns out, and just allowing the pen to stay on the page without lifting it for 10 minutes in the day really can help you look back and see how often this piece of your puzzle is causing stress and tension in your body. So if you look back after 1 week of journaling and you're like, wow, every single day I have wrote about how much my work brings me stress, then you'll know that you can then go into that piece to solve that puzzle. So there's different types of journaling practices you can try out. There's a daily reflection where you write about challenges that you face through the day and your thoughts about them and any small successes. There is a gratitude journal. This is just writing about what you feel grateful for, and it starts to shift your attention to the positive things in life. And then there's a goal setting journal. So this could be where you're just writing down your goals and breaking them into steps so you feel a sense of control and also seeing your progress, which can reduce the stresses of feeling overwhelmed. So setting aside 5 to 10 minutes a few times a week for journaling could be a way to implement this. Maybe you end up stacking some of these things. So once you know your current routines and habits, like, okay, now I'm going to implement my exercise first thing in the morning, that 20-minute alarm a little earlier sounds like a great plan for me. And then these evening things might be a way to wind down. So maybe before you go to bed at night, just journaling a daily reflection about the challenges and successes before you go into sleep to release this from your body. A body scan before you go to bed, or breath work before you get out of the car from your work to your household. So giving yourself these breaks in stress as a transitionary period to step into the next role or the next thing that you're doing. Supporting her mental health, so recognizing and helping with partner stress. Common indicators of stress, anxiety, and overwhelm include emotional, behavioral, and physical symptoms. So the emotional indicators, such as heightened anxiety, irritability, mood swings, or sadness. Your partner may seem more withdrawn or can seem easily frustrated or frequently express her worry or fear about parenting, health, or other aspects of life. This is an indicator that there is stress, anxiety, or overwhelm. So lean in, learn to ask questions at this time. Behavioral changes, this can be sleep disruptions, changes in the eating habits, decrease in activities that she usually enjoys. She also may seem more fatigued, have difficulty concentrating, or become less communicative, which can be signs that stress is impacting her well-being. There's also physical symptoms. So it could trigger something like headaches, muscle tension, nausea, or general body aches. Paying attention to these signs can give you clues in her mental state, especially if she is not expressing her concerns. And the importance of empathy. So practice empathy. It is the ability to put yourself in another person's shoes and allow your partner to feel understood and supported. Empathy requires active effort to notice subtle changes of stress and to understand what she might be experiencing. And also being observant without being obtrusive. So notice these small changes in her behavior or her mood allows you to address the topic before the stress builds up. Without prying or pressuring her to open up, show that you're paying attention, and when it's needed, it builds up trust and emotional safety. So I can tell you personally that as soon as I'm not responding with full conversations or actually engaging in a conversation, giving my husband the feedback or actively participating, he'll pause and say, "How are you doing? How are you feeling today?" And just ask me questions. Are you feeling like you want to take a little break? And then I have to be like, that sounds amazing. And he's like, go lay down, go take a rest, go do something to charge yourself. And then when I come back, I can talk in such a different way. I can engage and be present. Or if I'm feeling, fatigued often, I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I'm so tired. And then he will ask me, are you feeling really stressed out right now? Are you feeling overburdened? I can help clean out. I can help clean up the house. I'm going to take care of the dishes for you. And he would just offer in these ways to pick up. Remember those resources we talked about? He's picking up the extra slack that he knows that I don't necessarily have the energy for. All right, effective ways to support. So active listening, like we talked about, this is fully concentrating, fully understanding, and instead of offering solutions right away, it just allows a space for your woman to express herself without interrupting or judgment or problem solving. And so the techniques for the active listening questions are open-ended questions, right? We remember this. So how are you feeling about things lately? Or what's been on your mind? It's just an open-ended question. It allows you to be there and listen, not solve, just listen. Reflecting and paraphrasing. And so it sounds like you're feeling really overwhelmed right now, or it sounds like you're thinking a lot about, the kids, or, this bedroom, or where we're going to put the baby. And then paraphrasing back so she feels understood. Avoiding distractions. So show undivided attention by setting aside your phones and other distractions, make eye contact, and use nonverbal cues like nodding or touching your hand to convey your presence and support. There's emotional validation, and this is just validating her emotions and accepting her feelings. You have a right to feel that way. That makes sense you're feeling that way. I understand. I would be overwhelmed too. You're allowing herself to feel that she has the right to have the emotions she's having. Using phrases like, I understand why you would feel that way, or that sounds really difficult, acknowledging these emotions. And avoiding minimization. So refrain from saying things like, it's no big deal, don't worry about it. I don't see why you even care about this stuff. This is minimizing her true emotions. So normalize her experience. Reassure her it's normal to feel the stress, anxiety, or overwhelm at this point in your life. So she knows that she's not alone in this experience. Practical strategies is taking on some of the duties at the household. So know that those roles may be changing here at this point in your life. The household chores, it might be now you're starting to help with cooking and cleaning up dishes. So she has more time for self-care or relaxation. And taking on administrative tasks and appointments, so offering to help by accompanying her to the doctor's appointments or to take care of the paperwork, maybe to pay the bills, to research things, anything that is taking another piece off of her plate. And childcare assistance. If there are already children in the family, taking on more childcare responsibilities such as helping with school routines, bedtime, or playtime can recharge and manage her to release some of her stress. Encouragement and affirmation is helpful as well. So reinforcing her strengths, remind her of her capabilities during these moments where she may doubt herself. Affirmations like, you are doing an amazing job, I see how hard you're working, can reinforce her sense of confidence. Acknowledging the past successes. So highlighted what she's navigated successfully to remind her of her resilience, helping to make her feel more capable of handling the current challenges. And supporting her self-confidence. So focusing on her positive qualities, skills, and contributions, and reinforce her beliefs in her ability to thrive during this period. By showing you have faith in her, you help strengthen her self-confidence and reduce the doubt. And encourage self-care for her. Supporting breaks and me time, encouraging her to take the breaks for herself, whether it's a short walk, a hobby, connecting with a friend, quiet time, and offering to handle the responsibilities until she is feeling more refreshed and coming back. Helping her find outlets. So suggest activities that can help her unwind. You can remind her, like, remember when you loved going to that step class or dance class? I feel like you should do that again. Or I found out they have it at the Y. Encourage her to have time with her friends. You're just helping, being that reminder. And prioritizing her mental health. So encourage her to seek help from a professional for therapy or counseling to give her additional support if needed, and be open to discussing this option in a way that doesn't make her feel pressured. Teamwork and communication. So honest communication, open communication, we've talked about this. It is key, and we're going to remember all of the important parts of it, right? So it's making time for them. That's a big part of this. It's just making time, putting it on your calendar. Remember, it's Sunday Fun Day. We're going to do something fun together, and we're going to set aside in that cozy room, that safe environment, to sit down and chit chat. Discussing stress levels and needs. So just talking about the current stressors, the emotional challenges, and what the partner might need to feel supported at this time. And setting the tone for openness. So being patient, non-judgmental, and listening actively. Using the I statements. So this expresses what you need clearly. I feel overwhelmed when, or I need support with, makes it easier to express your concerns without sounding accusatory. So we're not placing the blame on anyone, we're just saying and making a claim for what we need. Avoiding blame or criticism, and creating that safe environment to have these conversations. So problem solving as a team. We are approaching stress as a shared challenge, viewing the stressors as our problem. Rather than seeing each individual stress as separate, approach it from something that you can address together, because the reality is whatever your person or partner is bringing to their household is going to impact you. And so just allow yourself to view this as something that you are both working on. Creating the "we're in this together" mindset allows the partners to have each other's back even in difficulty times. So tackling these challenges together, it actually strengthens the bond and reassures that the partners are not alone. So develop strategies to distribute the responsibilities equitably. So assessing the individual strengths and limitations. This can help decide on like how we are actually going to move through the next changes. So for me, it was a big stressor in my family for me to do anything with the finances. I love to make money. I love to go to work, but I don't want to look at any of the bills that come in. I don't want to be responsible for paying them. It brought in a lot of stress. So my husband, who's a really good guy at numbers and business, he loves it. He absolutely loves looking at numbers. He likes that it's fun for him. And so this is something I just get to hand off to him. And then somebody might be better at household tasks. So I'm the person who's really good at multitasking. I can have a baby that's nursing on me while I'm cooking a meal and then washing the dishes all at the same time. Not that he can't do it. It's just that I am more effective at doing that, multitasking. So that's typically how we just split up all of the different tasks that is needed to help the household move. Be flexible with changing needs. So over time, you might shift your focus. You may be like, I can't do this all at the same time. I know I used to make all the meals, and now I'm just feeling overwhelmed and exhausted. I haven't slept yet. I don't want to cook dinner. I need to go take a nap. And so be willing to understand that times are changing, and they're always changing. And so we want to be flexible. And create a shared action plan. So allow each person to handle their tasks and feel confident in their role. This can be everything from the household duties to emotional check-ins, which provides structure and helps reduce feelings of overwhelm. So it is literally not because we like wrote it on a checklist or a sheet or anything, but it has always been my husband's responsibility to lead us as a couple into making sure that we're taking care of our emotional selves, our bond, our emotional intimacy. So he is the one to lead that conversation. I know when he leads me there, it's because he's capable of holding space for me. He's capable of listening openly. And I know when he doesn't lead that conversation, he's not at that place. Maybe he's dealing with some other stressors. And so I just kind of follow his lead for that. So knowing that you have your own roles or like leading your woman in that way can be really helpful for you guys to establish more trust and this interdependence together. And you're building this resilience together. So this mutual resilience strategies means that you're engaging in shared mindfulness exercises, knowing that you're both doing your work separately, but then maybe even deciding to do them together. It's going to help strengthen that bond as well. Exploring your couple's counseling if needed. Sometimes just seeing somebody who is going to listen and can hold that outside perspective, listening to what each partner is saying, can actually help build the bond. When I work with different couples, it may just be a matter of a couple weeks of just giving feedback and practicing new techniques and then hearing, how did it go last week? Did you practice this I am statement? Did that help your communication? Did you feel as strong to talk about it, now that you've already practiced in front of a counselor, in front of somebody who's helping you and coaching you? And then if they need more support afterwards, then we look at more support. Some people just learn the skills and just carry on. So bringing in the help if it's needed. Celebrating small achievements. So every little piece of change. There was one of my clients in supporting them who didn't know how to voice how he was feeling. And so he just got so used to never speaking the things that were bothering him. And so he was just bottled up. So in a follow-up appointment, I was just so proud of the fact that he learned 4 or 5 times that week that he shared how he was actually feeling. He didn't go to somebody else. He didn't call somebody else. He addressed it right then and there instead of turning or stuffing it down. So that's a huge accomplishment. It's worth celebrating. It doesn't mean you're 100% healed. It means that you're taking steps to getting better. Develop shared goals and values. So you can, as a couple, talk about what your common grounds are. For my husband and I, it is health, it is sleep, it is from the food we eat to when we go to bed to who we're spending our time and energy with. All of these things are part of our goals and values, what we're doing with our business, what we want to see as a family, spending time with our children. All of these things are just getting ourselves on the same page with our core values, and that allows you to actually set day-by-day tasks that are actually going to help bring you together. And setting long-term and short-term goals are also helpful, so you're on the same page. Maybe you're going to dedicate more time for self-care. Like I've been really stressed for years. I've never actually taken time to take care of myself. And so there might be a time where like you're not going to grind with your business, or you're not going to do extra time at work because you really need to focus on self-care. And so with that mission, you focus on your health. Or it might be saving for the future. So this isn't the time to go all out on the baby room because we're saving for a future plan, which is a house. And so let's not go all in and buy wall decals and have somebody come in and do custom shelving right now. Maybe this is the time that you're just going to get what you need to support yourself at this time and allow yourself to build up for the future. And getting on the same page helps. And then revisit these goals periodically. So life circumstances can change. So regularly visiting the goals, whether this is monthly or quarterly, just talking about how you guys think you're doing if you're still on the same page, and recalibrate. So in conclusion, stress management strategies for men. This is so important for you. Men are actually more capable of handling stress on the daily. They have more testosterone in your body. You are able to handle it much better than women. So think about how her resources may be limited at times. Notice with her body language. Notice with her emotions. Notice with her well-being if she is experiencing stress. And for yourself, notice what your patterns are from the past and see what you can do to support yourself. Maybe it's a meditation, mindfulness, physical exercise, try out the journaling. All of these things are like a little trial and error period. And maybe you're doing some of them some of the times. And so just your focus might be doing it regularly, doing it consistently, setting an alarm in your phone so you actually do it. And develop the habits that actually supports your well-being, and it's actually going to enhance your relationship. And supporting her health. So we know the different ways that like she's showing you or responding that she's stressed. So see how you can validate her, listen, offer encouragement, create a safe space, and a supportive environment where she feels valued and heard. And then there's the teamwork and communication. Open, honest communication to solve the problems together, and approach stress as a shared challenge, distributing your responsibilities and celebrating the small achievements together, and fostering a resilient relationship. So this involves the mutual respect, empathy, and shared goals. So think about your growth and adaptation. Stress management isn't a one-time task. It's an ongoing journey that requires both partners to adapt life as it evolves. Personal and relationship needs will shift over time. So maintain this awareness as both of you meet each other's needs with empathy and flexibility. And support your self-awareness. Self-awareness is recognizing when you need self-care, when you need something different than what you have at this moment. So you'll build this skill. It's just like bouncing a basketball, dribbling a basketball. You actually build this skill over time. So practice being aware of how you're feeling and then taking steps to change it. And reinforcing partner strength. So just as individual needs and attention, so does the partnership. So having a regular time for communication, celebrating our progress, and prioritizing time together all helps to strengthen the relationship over time. All right, so this is our stress topic. I would love for you to open up, use a journal, like literally write down patterns of the past. And guess what? This is a really task-oriented thing that will help you actually see where the problem is, actually see where your tendencies are. And when you start writing in the journal and seeing, oh, this is interesting, every time I'm stressed, I actually want to lock myself in the room, or I go and binge on a guy's night, whatever it is, whatever your thing is, and get clear, and then try to actually pause in these moments and implement a new technique and see how they feel for you. Try out one of the body scans, one of the breath works, and then notice if you actually feel a little bit more balanced, and then continue to do that. Implement it as a daily activity. So I'd love for you to start to become aware about what you're doing and then practice one of these techniques. And I'll catch you in the next video. Aloha.